the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles.
Hey, yo, I see you, man.
Brought to you by Shawn Porter from
Hey, yo, Shawn Porter, hold tight.
Are you slobbering?
Nah, not slobbering.
Hey, yo, put your headphones on, man.
Hey, Shawn.
Yo.
You owe me $200.
Oh, man.
I'll wait till the podcast to bring it up.
Because you chose to pay for my wife's dinner.
Hey, man, you owe me $200. So
like,
who I get that? Do I get that from you?
When you see
your wife?
No.
Your kid?
None of us. When you see her out, and she's not with me, you're supposed to look at her and see a dollar sign. Understand that she got money and she good.
I said, I was been a gentleman. I said, I got you. I'll just get it back. I'll get it back from your husband.
I was like,
she said, all right, cool.
I knew that was what you were doing. I'm like, he being a gentleman, and then I already knew. I was like, and I know he gonna come at me talking about some, you owe me X, Y, Z. I'm like, that was the wrong time to be a gentleman. I need my money. That was the wrong time to be a gentleman.
Oh, my bad. All right.
It was the wrong time. What's up with it, C Merk?
Nah, it's never the wrong time to be a gentleman. I'm thinking treat him like a lady. Treat her like a lady.
That's my jam right there.
Shout out to the Temptations.
Shout out to the Temptation. That's my jam right there.
No doubt.
We got to figure out how to play music on this podcast.
Are we allowed to just play anybody's music? I don't know.
I feel like we should just do it at some point.
That's a bold
you will
strategy.
get taken down.
Yeah.
We got to get the podcasters on our side. Whoever
So what's going? How them Cleveland streets looking? What y'all looking like? Y'all supposed to be 2-0 right now. Y'all 0-1.
Who you talking about? The Cavs, or are you talking about?
Yeah, the Browns. Carson said we'll be coming back. We'll be 2-0.
What did he say?
Right now, 1-1.
Oh yeah, I guess you would be right. No?
Yeah, dang, I'm right.
Oh,
yeah.
I got you.
You
last
know what I'm
episode
talking about.
when I tried to speak it into existence.
Yeah,
it didn't work.
It was a mistake.
We going on. What would this be? 2-1 then, or 1?
Yeah, this would be 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1
in the past week.
Yeah, because we was trying to call that Baltimore game.
Yeah, I did what I could.
What would y'all give up for a Browns Super Bowl this year?
Give up?
Yeah, what would you give up?
What would you mean? Like, what are you talking about?
If you had a dog, would you give your dog away?
No,
I ain't gonna bring y'all kids. I ain't bringing nobody kids in there. That's taking it too far.
What would I give up?
Would you get your car?
I get my car. Yeah. I get my car up.
No, you give your one car.
You know what I'm talking about. I get that one.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's gone. It's out the door.
I'll also give up one of Sean's cars too.
It's gone. It's out. It's out.
What about your car? What about your house? Would you give up your house?
I can't do all that. I would be happy though. I'd give up something smaller.
You give up the car. The car ain't shit. Oh, you got a new car though, didn't you?
Yeah, I would give up like a favorite drink or something maybe for a whole year.
Nah, that ain't enough.
That's not gonna cut it.
That ain't enough.
You gotta get crazy. You gotta give up soccer for a year or something.
I'll cut a foot off.
What about giving up soccer for a year?
I feel like cutting a foot off was more extensive than soccer.
No, don't cut a foot off.
You love soccer.
Yeah, you might wait. What you doing? You might wake up and they the best around and lost. Said this wasn't part of the deal.
Let me see.
Oh, here we go.
There he is.
Here we go.
There he is.
Every day when I'm in here. Yeah, go ahead, Carson. Go ahead.
I give up soccer for a year for a Browns Super Bowl.
Hey, okay.
It would be a sad year overall because I feel like that buzz of the Browns winning the Super Bowl would fade somewhat quickly, and then beyond that, it would be sad times for like.
I don't think a Browns Super Bowl could fade. That ain't gonna ever fade for me. Hey.
Well, it won't ever fade, but it'll like in the moment. I don't know. I'd be happy though.
Saints won Super Bowl.
Go ahead and say it.
About 10, 15 years ago.
Say it. Say it. No, you don't want to say it. Hey, go upstairs with mommy.
I want to.
Go upstairs with mommy. And close.
I was actually happy the Saints won that year. They did.
Yeah, I mean, we was going through a lot, but hey, I'm still happy with that victory.
Oh, I mean, the Cavs, it was more recent, but I'm going to be making blew a 3-1 lead jokes until I'm in a coffin.
I should have locked my door.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, didn't the Cavs blow a 3-1 lead too?
No, Indians did the next year.
Yeah.
What did Cavs blow? Oh no, they
Nothing.
got swept.
Allegedly.
Door.
Not allegedly.
Hey man, I got the Nets, the Warriors, Lakers, or Clippers in the championship
this year.
Yeah. Hey, you know, our boy, he's a big Bucks fan. They ain't doing nothing. They might get swept.
Lakers are repeating, but
oh, hey, KD boy, KD best player in the league.
Not named LeBron, sure.
I can't call it after his injury.
I can't call it.
I know he's still hooping. He's still hooping.
Preseason.
He's a baller.
Yeah, he's a baller.
Still hooping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The Bucks, I don't know. He's just gonna be sitting there doing nothing for the next 5 years.
I have a critique of Kevin Durant outside of his decision to go to Golden State. They came up with the Slim Reaper for his nickname, and it was such a badass nickname. And then he just didn't rock with it. Like he just didn't really like co-sign it. And then it went to KD, which everyone has initial nicknames. Slim Reaper is a high quality nickname.
I agree.
And Durantula was solid too.
Hey, Durant's a dog. You know, Nets might be my second or third best team. You know me, I get a couple teams. And then about halfway to All-Star game, I run with a team.
Do you know who else they got other than KD and Kyrie?
Yeah, Kyrie Irving.
No, but other than those
DeAndre Jordan. They got a little squad. They got
DeAndre
solid.
Dinwiddie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All the reason why I even throw the words out there because they bench is deep. Like all those guys played last year.
I think they're going to be good, but I don't think they're a title contender right now. Just without Clay, it's tough.
I like that Kelly Oubre pickup. Yeah, that's solid.
Do they try to replace Clay or do they try to?
They got a guy. You can't replace him.
Yeah. Honestly, are they running the same type of offense minus him, or are they going to move into a different type of offense?
They run the same thing.
It'll be the same thing, but yes, that's one of those where you just step into a role that you're not qualified or able to fill, which Clay is, all the time.
Because Clay and Steph is actually one person. They're like one Megatron. Good luck trying to beat those guys.
Like the Dinobots.
Yeah, because just like when everybody said Durant left, I'm like, they're together. They're like LeBron and KD together.
It's like the Dragon Ball Z fans will appreciate the fusion with Goten and Trunks. They become Gotenks. They do a little fusion dance to become one person.
So I got the Nets. Y'all got the Lakers?
I got Lakers.
I got the Nets.
So you think it's going to be Lakers Nets?
Yeah.
I would think so.
Carson, so both of y'all think it's Lakers Nets?
Lakers Nets, but I got Lakers winning.
I think Miami just had a lucky run. But Bucks ain't gonna do nothing. He needs to develop a jump shot.
Yeah.
I'm not giving nobody 200 and something million,
Giannis.
and you can't shoot a jumper. I hate to say it.
At the end of the day, he a big man. He ain't supposed to be able to shoot. I mean, I understand that the NBA has changed. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. But you can pay him because he is what they've always been as a big man.
I wouldn't pay him that much. Honestly.
And he can run the floor.
What do you think about Giannis? I guess it's Milwaukee. You can't let him leave.
Well, yeah, that I was gonna say, as somebody in a small market, like we've seen Cleveland, we've experienced this firsthand.
Right.
So I'm happy to see them keep Giannis, but I think they're a good piece and a half away from being able to contend for a title.
I agree.
Yeah, it's Chris Middleton's not enough.
Yeah. Drew Holiday solid, but yeah,
that's
I can definitely see him getting sweeping second round, third round if they lucky.
Yeah, could be.
Holiday is the new pickup.
Yeah.
They was hyped about it.
Yeah, he gave up. Actually, shout out to Drew Holiday. I believe I saw he's given up his entire salary to black-owned businesses and people that are struggling right now with everything going on. Wow. So shout out to him.
Yeah,
I never know how sure that is. What's the catch? I'm gonna give you something. I'm not gonna give you all. I'm getting 14 million. You're not getting 14 million.
Hey,
there's a catch behind that, Carson. Tyson Fury said he giving his whole purse away at a fight too, and I'm like, nah, I'm not falling for that, man.
Drew Holiday to me though is he's such a solid guy. His wife played for the women's national team in soccer, and she had a major health issue. I'm pretty sure he sat out a whole season just to kind of do his thing while she was dealing with that. So I think he's a quality enough guy. I'll take him at his word.
I'll sit out my season for my lady too. But I'm not just giving my whole $14 million.
Hey, Drew Holiday might be a better guy than you then. I don't know.
No, I'm not believing that.
Carson,
I'll never believe that.
Shout out Larry Nance Jr. real quick. What he got going home? Back home in Cleveland.
Yeah, Larry Nance Jr. has small businesses in Cleveland that make apparel. Whether I think it's mainly shirts, but shirts, hats. So anyone can send something to him and he'll wear it before a game, get photography to, take a good picture of him, post it, and then he's auctioning off jerseys and then donating
that night. Yeah.
Yeah, and then donating the gear that he receives. And then he's right now other people are kind of mentioning they might do the same. I think that was kind of his hope, is that maybe people in different cities, different teams would pick that up as well.
That's what's up.
Okay. So,
shout out to Revere's own Larry Nance Jr.
Yes, sir.
I just want to let you know the Porterway podcast has also joined in on this. If you want to send over some 2Xs. What size are you?
Hey,
Shawn Porter?
I'm a medium.
We will wear it on the podcast.
Oh, 100%.
I promise we will wear it. If you guys want to send us some stuff, we will wear it.
Hey,
put it in the comments. Let us know. Sean, shut up. Let us know, and we will wear it.
I'm 100%. I'm down for
I'm
it.
literally trying to support. I see what you're doing, Sean. I mean, hey, it's free stuff. I'll take it. But I mean, I'll put you out there. I'll wear it on the podcast.
No doubt.
Why you so thirsty, though?
What you
He's just being a good guy. He's taking the Drew Holiday.
I'm Drew Holiday, baby. I'm going to get my whole salary up this year.
Hey, he said, hey, we needed a dress to use so people can send us free shit. I said, man, I don't want nothing free. He said, man, I love me some free shit.
What you doing right now?
Hey, there's no
the more and more we get into this is episode 15, I believe. And the more and more we get into this, we see what you about. Out of nowhere, this dude want to use a whole different Washington State address.
Hey, Sean's a wild boy.
No doubt about it.
Sean's a wild boy. You don't tell Sean everything. One day we was out. Yeah, we was out with two different. I was out with another lady. My lady, and Sean brings up an old lady talking about, hey, didn't she play college basketball? I'm like, no, what you doing?
That ain't even how I went.
Not how I went?
Hey, I went.
She ain't hearing, but I'm like, come on, man, what you doing right now?
Your lady was at my house with my wife, and we were talking about playing ball. And then I'm like, man, let me just text this dude real quick and mess with him. And so I said, hey, yo, didn't you say a man that could get down on the court? And he was like, no, not her. And then 2 seconds later, I get a phone call from you. I'm like, yo, calm down. We good, man. I'm just messing with you. We good.
Hey, I was like, what you talking about? I'm like, this.
And then he like, I shouldn't have told you shit.
Hey, Carson probably got stories of Sean.
100%.
Sean is a wild boy. He'll use it against you at the worst moments. You're a sucker. You live your life just like you do in the ring. You're a dog.
I'm hard, man. Listen, it only makes sense. You know what I mean? Like to this day, like wifey we have arguments. I'm like, why are you mad? You know how I am. You shouldn't be like that with me. It is. I try to slow down, but it's gonna happen at some point. But you act like you haven't been with me forever. It wasn't like that in the beginning. I said, no, it was. You just wasn't seeing it. You wasn't hearing it. And she like, well, stop treating me like that. I'm like, I can't help it. You know. So we arguing all the time.
Hey, we love all y'all comments and everything. Keep it coming. Hey, you think you hurt our feelings? You haven't seen our personal group text. We literally disrespect each other. On a whole nother level.
I might have to bring some of that into
no, you can't do that.
Stuff.
Right. So anyway, what we talking about today, man?
Hey, let me, Carson, do you know this dude? Let me, I'm gonna pull up his name, but just go back real quick to the Fox pay-per-view, and one guy had a lot to say about my outfit, and I just found it extremely funny, and I didn't have a chance to get back on Instagram and get back at him, but I just like
Steven Jackson?
Just going off of what you said, and like I just don't give a damn.
Oh, you talking about Steven Jackson?
Nah, people comments on us, on me.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? All that, it's all in fun. You know what I mean?
Love it.
And those times where people feel like they might be saying something that's actually gonna try to, drive that stake. like you just missed me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, I probably didn't see it. You know what I mean? And then second of all, if I did see it, I probably laughed at it and was just like, that's okay. You know, so.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing with my jersey. Like, people don't think that I'm wearing this jersey just because the Browns are winning tonight 20-3. Don't think that I'm just I'm wearing this jersey because we're about to be 10-4. Like, if we were 4-10, I'd still wear this jersey. Like, this is me. You know, I'm from Cleveland and I love the Browns. It is what it is.
Hey, but keep up the comments, man. We love it. Keep hey, tell us how you feel. Hey, go in at me, go in at Carson, go in at Shawn. Tell us how you feel.
Don't volunteer me. Don't volunteer. They gonna do it, but don't volunteer.
No. I waited for you last. Me and Carson I think me and Carson get it the worst.
It's because we're heavy
they just
set.
disrespecting us. Yeah. I don't care. Keep it going. You're my guys.
No doubt.
All of you are my guys.
All of them.
Listen, man, let's get into this boxing thing.
What's up with boxing?
Did he just say what's up with boxing?
Yeah, what's up with boxing?
That was like a Jerry Seinfeld. What's the deal with boxing?
Hey, this is Mr. Boxing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is true.
I love how everybody is working with each other. Like, not like, obviously, PBC, but I'm talking about, like, you guys, commentators cross-promoting, working with each other, actually get to work with other people. I honestly always thought you guys had contracts where you couldn't do that. If you can't speak on that, I understand, but that's what I thought.
Well, I think what's going on is the networks are understanding that the television has to be just as good as the fights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then every now and then one has to carry the other. You know, sometimes the boxing is going to carry some of those people that are commentating and vice versa. Some of the broadcasters are going to have to carry a match or two when it doesn't go the way the matchmakers expected it to, the promoters expected it to. I mean, big case was what happened with ESPN and that whole replay debacle where it took 20, 30 minutes, you know, so and they were doing the best that they could, you know, so
don't even bring that up.
Shout out to all of them. But yeah, like when you see me now on NBC, also Fox, FS1, the contracts and everything are just structured that way that we can work, especially right now with everything going on. I think it will be kind of bad if these networks were holding us back from trying to make a way for ourselves, you know, especially during these times. But it is what it is. It was cool to see Kate Abdo on Abdo on DAZN. I didn't expect it, and I actually didn't text her. Normally I text her whenever I see that she has something going on. It was cool to see Boo Boo up there.
What about your guy?
Who?
The announcer guy,
Brian Kenny.
No, you're talking about Ray Flores.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Ray actually told me. Yeah, we did FS1 on Friday, and he said, "Yeah, I'm shooting down to Florida to do DAZN." I was like, "Okay, cool. Go ahead and get it." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He looked good, sound good. You know, so I think that's the way it should be. You know, it should be the same way for the fighters. You know, fighters shouldn't be locked into one network, one promotional entity and things like that. I mean, the more that we can all diversify, the better the sport will become, because now you got eyes everywhere looking at you. You know, you're not limited. You know, like right now, for instance, if we say Mayweather, everybody's gonna expect to see Mayweather on Showtime pay-per-view. You know, so
imagine how big boxing would be if you could like cross promote and just not even a problem to work together, man. That would be huge.
That'd be a beautiful time.
For the sport. Yeah, that'd be big.
That's the goal. You know, I think that's the end goal for fighters. I think the end goal for me, you know, let me speak on myself. When I got to a point as an amateur, when I started to fight against other countries, that's how me and Terrence Crawford got cool, because we were going to other countries and we were fighting against, you know, those other countries. We were traveling together and we were literally teammates. And so that's how I kind of view the situation where you talk about myself, Errol Spence, and Terrence Crawford. I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, well, you know, I feel like in the fight with Terrence and Errol Spence, I think that's a fight that Terrence will win. However, the understanding that I'm with PBC wants me to say, yo, if it's me or if it's you, somebody get over there and get at that guy over there with ESPN. We tried it with Deontay, and now we need to try some more, you know? So they were able to do something amazing, for me at least, being a part of it. Amazing back in February, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of that in the future. I'm hoping that the powers that be can kind of get everything out of the way, understand, you know, that everybody's going to make money, and, you know, it's just about a matter of making it happen.
And that's even what, kind of going back to Derek James last week on the podcast, he said, you guys are essentially coworkers. Yeah. Just boxing is, everyone's a coworker, whether you're with this promotional company or this one. You know, if somebody's acting like a fool, it doesn't look good for anybody else. Beef doesn't look good for anyone else. So yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Boxing in 20.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. No.
I was saying boxing in 2021 set up to have some big fights, man. Yeah. It could be a good year if they act on it the right way. We know how to work through the pandemic now. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we getting out of pandemic, but if we have to, we know how to work in the pandemic. Yeah. Worst come to worst, you can go to Texas and fight.
Yeah.
With fans.
What everybody's doing. You know, I'm optimistic, so I feel like there's a breakthrough that's going to happen. And it's a shame that you have to call it a breakthrough, but it is what it is.
Praying for that, man.
I really do feel like it's going to happen. You know, I think that these old heads and these powers that be right now, I think that they're seeing these moments kind of fly by, and these moments will start to get seized really, really soon.
Yeah. We basically went through a whole year of this, almost.
I mean, yeah, but, you know, no one's fault, you know, no one.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So. Hey, listen, man, let's get into this boxing thing real quick. I kind of want to just talk about the few fights that I've been a part of, just in case anybody missed it. The first kid I want to talk about on FS1. I've been fortunate enough to be able to commentate, man. I love this commentating thing, man. It's a little different than being at the desk for me, and it's like you gotta be on your toes and you gotta be ready, and you know, and kind of deliver it on the spot. And I really like that. I like the challenge of that. And then again, working with Ray Flores, he makes it extremely easy for me. And he just gives me these nice little lobs, and I finish the job just about, you know, every time I feel like I can or whatever. But I wanted to talk about Eimantas Stanionis. This kid's from Lithuania, and he's a strong fighter. I don't know if you guys have seen him yet, but I'm hoping right now we're going to start rolling some film on him. He's a strong fighter. Right now, everybody's texting me. He's a 147-pound fighter, and he's saying, I want a championship next year in 2021. If not 2021, I will be fighting for a championship in 2022. And I believe him. The dude is strong. He's very confident. His work ethic is second to none in the boxing gym. I've heard that out of his mouth. I've also heard it out of Freddie Roach's mouth that he trains out there at the Wild Card. And to see him get in the ring and really just break down the two fighters I've seen him break down. Number one, Justin DeLoach. I'm thinking, okay, kid, if you can use your speed against this Stanionis guy, you know, use your feet. You're making it a hard night for him. But Stanionis is just right there in your face all night. He's pressuring you, and he's hitting hard with both hands, which, you know, at the 47-pound division, you don't see very many guys who have power in both hands. And that's where I see coming from this kid, man. And I just wanted to kind of bring the boxing world some.
He got a stoppage on Wednesday, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did he get a stoppage?
Yeah,
I saw the highlight of the stoppage.
Late round stoppage, and again, same thing with Justin DeLoach. I think that fight was stopped in the 8th or the 9th round. Yeah. And the same thing with this fight over on Wednesday. And then and I just think that he's gonna be a big force in his welterweight division. We talk about guys who we could see him up against next year. I'm thinking maybe a guy like the guy we just saw down in Texas. Shoot.
On the Canelo card?
No, on the Errol Spence Jr. and Josecito Lopez. I always mess up his name. I can see him against a guy like Josecito Lopez. Yeah. Lopez, I think, is right there on the brink of being one of those guys who is a gatekeeper, but he's put up these like really good performances his last 3 fights, and I know that right now he will be looking for something bigger than Stanionis. However, that is someone I could see Stanionis being able to get into the ring with and kind of making that leap from up and coming to contender. Somebody like that.
Put it as maybe like a title eliminator, where Stanionis can maybe try to take the step up, and Josecito then can see maybe a little bit more of a reward for taking that chance against kind of more of an unknown guy than Josecito usually fights. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, something like that. I really do think he's a tough fight for all of those guys out there that are, you know, just below that world championship level. When I'm talking about those guys like Ugas, the kid from Minnesota, Lipnitz. Yeah, he has a fighting style a lot like Lipnitz, but he's stronger than Lipnitz. He's bigger than Lipnitz, and I think he might have better boxing ability than Lipnitz. That would be a really good fight. That's a good fight. So, I mean, I'm no matchmaker.
Didn't he have a fight coming up or a fight canceled?
No, he just had a fight. No, he just had a fight.
Did he?
Yeah,
I knew he was scheduled for something, but I think I missed it.
He won a what they consider to be a no. Excuse me. I think he scored a draw.
It was a draw?
He scored a draw.
It was something weird.
He scored a draw.
It was something weird.
He scored a draw because I called Joe Goose and we spoke about it for a minute. He did. He scored a draw, and I asked Joe what he felt about it, and he said, you know, Lipnitz, he felt like he fought a good fight, but you know the judges didn't really see the same things that he was seeing. So I trust Joe, and I know that Joe's a good trainer, a good manager. He can manage a fighter through the course of an entire fight. So no doubt there. But you guys definitely be on the lookout for Eimantas Stanionis, 12-0, and he's right there trying to become a contender now. That was the FS1 shows, and then I did Ring City Boxing, Ring City USA on NBC the very following day on Thursday. So I've been having fun, man.
It was cold out there. I could tell.
Yeah, it was. It was cold.
I could tell.
Listen, let me say this. I'm glad they made it through it. I'm glad they made it through it with no bad weather, nothing that would prevent them from being able to put on the shows. For anybody that doesn't know, NBC hasn't been boxing hasn't been on NBC since maybe 2015. And so with them trying to come back, this year was the year that they wanted to come back, and then the pandemic happened. They really put things off, and then near the end of the year, they said, we have to take off this year. Once we take off this year, then next year in 2020 we can really get going with some fights. Next year they're looking at having 14 events on NBC next year, which is pretty deep. That's a pretty decent number, as told to me. Fox, FS1, they carry upwards to 20 to that mid 20 to 30 range in terms of events through the year. And so for them to want to come out of the gate next year with 14 events, of course, NBC also holding the Olympic Games. They want to highlight the boxing on through the Olympics as well, a little more than they have in the past, which is awesome for NBC, awesome for the boxing that's coming on, and of course also for Ring City Boxing USA. The difference with Ring City and the thing that makes Ring City unique is we're just talking about guys being able to cross promote and do it, but there has to be a rhyme and a reason. And right now, Ring City is trying to be that middleman. That hey, you don't have to fight on this card just because you are a promoter of because you're a part of that promotional company. You don't have to fight on this network just because you're a part of this network. Come together, do it right here, where everybody will be pleased with the outcome. They're trying to do different things as far as the promotion is going, as far as the production is going, and I've been seeing it. I've been a part of it, which is amazing as well. Y'all don't even be watching, which is cool. I'm sure y'all will get around to it at some point.
I watched the main event.
Main event was tight, right?
Man, hey, like I told you the other day, you got a lot of shows on, man.
Yeah, you did say
Not mad at you, but you asking for a lot of time.
Yeah. The Zone got a lot of our time this weekend.
Yeah. I've been watching.
Yeah.
I'll see if I don't watch a DVR. But yeah, I checked out that main event. That was a good fight.
Listen, man, let's shout out Charles Conwell real quick.
Cleveland,
Ohio, now 14-0. He beat a guy from Kakistan. This dude was undefeated as well. And I thought that this was a dangerous fight. My dad and I talked before the fight happened, and I said, man, I think this is kind of a dangerous fight for Conwell. He's fighting an undefeated fighter, a foreign fighter. You guys you may think it's funny that I call him foreign or whatever, but fighters from other countries, they just have a different type of style, and when you're not used to seeing that style, it could create problems and throw you off a little bit. Now you're looking at 2 or 3 rounds where you've trying to figure out how this guy is moving, what this guy is doing, and you falling behind the scorecards simply because you haven't seen something yet, you know. So that was my major concern with Conwell, is that he would be in the ring with somebody who's moving just slightly different and working at a different pace than he's used to working at. But I mean, this dude Conwell, he comes out in the beginning of the fight and just handled it from beginning to end. One thing that I spoke on in the very beginning of the NBC telecast, they wanted me to get in the ring and show people what it's like, or give them an understanding of what it's like to be in the ring. And I told them, like, hey, this is not your average size ring. This ring's a little smaller. Whoever's in the middle of the ring controlling the range and the distance is going to win this fight. And I don't think that that's, thank you, I don't think that that's something that Conwell, I know it's something that he didn't hear me say, but the way he came out there and controlled the range and the distance, controlled the center of the ring, never had his back against the ropes unless he wanted them there, and was just a commander-in-chief the entire night up until the stoppage. The kid's coach actually ended up stopping the fight on stopping it on the stool. So
yeah. And the other kid came to fight, man. They both went into deep waters, and one came out.
So I guess this is the contradiction that I have, is the same way I'm speaking about us U.S. fighters not knowing how to fight against, not always knowing how to fight against foreign fighters and having to make adjustments. The same thing can happen in reverse. A guy is not used to a certain level, a certain tempo, certain speed, a certain rhythm, and the power that Conwell possesses as well. This dude punches hard with both hands, and you just, even his jab. You know, everybody was talking about. We'll get to Triple G at some point, but everybody talks about Triple G's jab and the way it thumps. Conwell at 154 pounds, he says, I'm the most underrated and under talked about boxer in the game right now, and I like it. He says he's been flying under the radar for a while, and he's ready to bust out. So y'all definitely be looking for this Cleveland fighter, man. He's got a lot of power.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I've seen fights and clips of different parts of each show. I think there hasn't really been a fight that's been, I don't want to say not one-sided, because there have been some that were a little that way, but all of them have been action-packed. Like, I haven't seen anyone that's gone in there and hasn't really put out a strong performance. Like Ant said, the dude from Kazakhstan that fought Conwell, he came to fight. Like, he was throwing. Yeah. So has that been every fight pretty much so far, that everyone's going in there bringing their A game?
What I've been told is that they want to set up basically 50-50 fights. For me, it's one thing to see it on paper. Everything looks 50-50 till you get in the ring. Yeah. But when these guys have gotten in the ring, I would say slight of maybe 2 fights. They've had a total of, I think, 12 fights. And slight of maybe 1 or 2 fights. Every fight's been competitive. Every fight you've been able to really see what level one guy is on and how it just makes that much different, you know, that much of a difference through the course of a fight, which has been very good.
Yeah, I think the most lopsided fights on there so far has probably been Brendan Adams' fight. And I mean, on paper, it looked like it was a good fight.
And even that, they were banging. Like, that was not like he just came in there and walked over him. Like, Sonny Duverson was throwing some shots too.
Yeah, and I think Brandon just he caught him with a quick shot, and it was something that Duverson hadn't been through before in the boxing ring, and I think that it caught him by surprise. I actually got Duverson's number. I haven't spoke to him yet, but a lot of these guys that I see, man, I know that they look up to me, and I just want to be a voice for all those guys out there. You ever want advice, ever need something, leave it in the comments. We'll try to get to you ASAP. And I know another thing that we're gonna do is
hit us up on Instagram if you're a fighter. Don't go to the comments.
Yeah, you go to the comments. Either way, we'll find you.
Either way,
we'll find you.
Yeah, we'll find you. We'll find you. We'll get it.
Hey, the comments getting deep. Y'all sure?
Yeah. and don't if you, unless you want Ant and I's advice too, you can always just say, hey, Carson, Ant, what do you think about this? It might not play out as well as Sean's advice. Yeah.
I would love to see one of y'all try to give like this just strong, emotional, confidence booster.
You were over there my one time in a corner at a sparring session.
Don't get too much info out.
No. It wasn't anything like that. It was something where they literally needed just a body to be in the other corner because there were two guys were just sparring a couple rounds, and they were like, "Yeah, Carson, go over there." And I was like, "All right, dude." I was messing up the water. He spit all over the mat. I was like, "Come on, man, dude, just spit in the bucket, man. Don't spit on the mat." So that was my debut and my retirement, and all in the same 2 rounds.
Shawn got stuff. I be yelling at your ass in the fights all the time.
Yeah, you do. But you know how to talk to me.
Yeah, I cut it off. I know how to be. I know.
But I'm saying, like, you know how to talk to me. I like to see you try to talk to like a 16 or 17-year-old, like, hey, give me some advice when I turn pro, and what I should be expecting.
I actually ran into a kid today at the mall, and those guys is always trying to wash your shoes at the mall.
Yeah.
And he looks at me, and I look at him. I said, "Hey, man, I don't want to hear that." I said, the kid got kicked off the team, but in college. The kid is, if he would have played this year, he could have entered the draft. I said, "Man, get your shit together." I'm like, man, and just cussing at him. She's like, "What are you can't just, this ain't your kid." I'm like, "Oh,
I'm always glad I got.
That's how I was raised."
I'm always glad I got flip flops or slides on at the mall or anything. And they'll be like, so you walk past the shoe shining people. I'm like, "Hey, man, unless you're gonna give me a pedicure, you got nothing for me."
That's probably one of the most annoying things about going to the mall. You're like, "Man, damn, here they go. Hey, man, let me get your shoes, boy. Come on, let me get them shoes. Man, they clean. Let me get them shoes, boy."
Hey,
or like ironing your shirt, like the thing that irons it real quick. I'm like, "Sir, I'm wearing a t-shirt. But we're embarrassed."
Y'all know Kenny be trying to be friends with everybody. I went up to the mall with him a couple weeks ago, and we walking through, and I'm like, already got my speech ready. Like, I'm good. I got some at home already. Kenny like, "No, hold on, man. I just talked to him yesterday." What is he talking about? I swear to God. He's like, "Oh, no, hold on. I just talked to him yesterday. Let's talk to him for a minute." We got nothing to talk about. You know what I mean? He a good dude, man. Just give me some real quick, So,
and that's a grind, though. Shout out to them, because that is a grind.
But if you ever want to get out of it, like Shawn said, your line is, "I already got some at home. I just bought some."
I do.
That's the best way to get out of it.
I got some at home. No. But that's
I really ain't got none.
It's the best. Well, then use that line. It works too. So, but use that line. "I'm good. I got some at home."
Yeah.
And you get right by. No problem. Get right.
Yeah,
by.
They be like, "All right, cool." Yeah. So
no disrespect. But we don't always have that kind of time.
Yeah.
Or that kind of money. Damn it. Sometimes it's a little pricey in the middle of the mall.
I don't know. I could not guess what Carson Merk's bank account looks like at all.
Hey, I was thinking of that. Hey, we, all 3 of us got different income levels. We're probably the 3 cheapest people you will meet at our income levels. I know Carson's cheap. Yeah. I am cheap. And I know Shawn's cheap for his level.
Right.
We are cheap.
I feel like Carson got more money in his bank account than me, though.
He probably do.
If we play big bank, take little bank,
you're winning comfortably.
He probably do.
No, man, I'm going.
But maybe I should rope-a-dope you into playing that.
Right.
Yeah, man, I got you.
And let's get back to it real quick. I just wanted to. I'm gonna just shout out these other fighters real quick.
Oh yeah.
Stephen Shaw, big shot, is from St. Louis, heavyweight, and I had a chance to talk to him after the fight. This kid's quick on his feet, fast with his hands, tries to punch with some power. After the fight, I told him, "Hey, yo, man, you need to be able to recognize where you got a guy slowed down and you need to get to that body and then sit down more in your shots and get him up out of there." He said, "Yeah, man, I hurt my hand, but I understand exactly what you're talking about." He's come a long way out there and down there in St. Louis. Now 14-0. He's a good looking heavyweight to look out for. Hopefully here in the near future, he's going to try.
He's been in some camps, hasn't he?
He's been in camps, a couple camps with Deontay Wilder. I think he's been into 3 camps now with Deontay Wilder, and he was also in Andy Ruiz's camp as well. So you talk about a guy, man. We all know that sparring is just sparring, and it doesn't mean anything. But as said to us by him, I understood very quickly that what level I'm on, and that I can, once it's my time, I'm really gonna seize those opportunities. So I'm actually gonna hold him to that. I said, "Man, take my number. You text me anytime, and we'll rap whenever you need to rap. But I'm gonna hold you to this, man. I could see you being one of the next top boxers out there in the heavyweight division." He's about 6'5", and he's came down from 280s. Now he's about I think 250. So he's a nice size heavyweight. A lot of experience too. He grew up in the boxing gym. So you guys know when you grow up around this, it's just something that you can always do.
Yeah.
Speaking of growing up around boxing, your guy Maliek, he went 6-0 this weekend out of Mexico.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Let me do it.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, he did. My dad is proud of him. My dad is just trying to move him.
I'm trying to help you out.
Yeah. No. You good. You know you good. I'm just messing with you.
We're all proud of him.
No, you know you good. You know you good. No, my dad is trying to move him, keep him at a steady pace. My dad feels that if the more he can get Maliek in the ring, the more comfortable he'll be once they get to TV. So my dad, I think he wants to do maybe 1 or 2 more fights off of TV, keep working with him in the gym. My dad is having Maliek go home to Macon, Georgia, his hometown, where my mama is at. And he has him go home about a week after the fight, brings him right back, get right back to training.
He got to fight next week. Next month.
He got to fight next month.
The next 3 months in a row.
The next 3 months. Yep. So he's going to be fighting January, February, and then again March. I think my dad is looking for January to be off TV and then for February and March to be on TV. So my dad is not... Okay, my dad is not trying to keep up with the Joneses at all. However, my dad sees the potential that he has. I can see the potential that he has, and my dad is really excited for him. So,
yeah, no doubt. Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, big moves in the what is it? Porterweight Promotions.
Can we get the Porterweight Podcast logo on some trunks or something?
Yeah, is it Porterweight Promotions?
No.
We don't get a piece of that. We don't get a piece of that.
No.
Hey, I know it's Shawn Porter Promotions. I'm talking about Porterweight. Huh?
You want me put put this patch right there on my shorts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just prefer I just want to get thanked after the fight.
Yeah, I want at least a paragraph about me. Carson,
no, I don't. I just need to be. I just want to be in there when there's the really forced shout outs. Like, oh yeah, and real quick, let me shout out. I just want to Carson, just like thrown in there.
Y'all know me, man. I always forget about the shout outs.
Yeah, just like Ant and Carson, just real quick, and then keep it breezing.
I always forget about the shout-outs. Listen, I would be remiss if I did not talk about Jelena Mrdjenovich. Do you guys know her story at all?
No,
so
sir.
She's been a multi-world champion for a long time now. I believe she's been in the boxing game for 18 years. She's 40 wins, 10 losses, and 2 draws. And that's
a long boxing career.
It's a long boxing career. She's 38 now, and especially with everything that's going on, the big question is why are you continuing to fight? The coach that she's had her entire career, who she calls her second dad, and I believe it because we all at some point get that close to our coaches that they become like uncles or very, very close family members or what have you. She calls this gentleman her second dad, is in a vegetative state up there in Canada, and so she just did her first camp without her coach, went to the boxing ring without her coach for the very first time. And I have not had to experience what that feels like without understanding why my dad is not there. I've had moments where my dad wasn't in my corner, but I've never had to come back to the corner and not see my dad for this type of reason, or any type of reason such as this. So the whole entire fight, it was a brawl back and forth. Her and Polana, excuse me, I'm messing up this name. I need to look at it real quick. This young lady's name is Paola Torres. Paola Torres. And this was a back and forth match. Both those young ladies have been champions before, and back and forth match. And I'm saying Jelena has better boxing ability than this young lady. This young lady is just Mexican style. She's gonna come after you the entire fight. It's gonna be entertaining, but Jelena needs to take some steps back, get some range and some distance, use her jab, use her boxing skills. Pop. She get the head collision. Bop, another head collision. Now Jelena's cut over the eyes, and she's just standing in there fighting. Commentator comes to me and says, we have to wonder, is this emotional boxing? And I felt like it could have been her just kind of fighting with her heart and really not caring about the outcome, just really wanting to be in there and experience some level of her and her coach being together, even though they weren't together. She wins the match, and after the fight, they do an interview and everything about her. I don't know if anyone who's not too keen on the female boxing circuit, Amanda Serrano is like one of the best female fighters out there, and Jelena has been on her ASS for a long time. They've been trying to make a fight happen for some years now, and they have not come up to it. So after the fight, of course, the only thing we want to know is, when are you and Amanda Serrano getting in the ring? She says, listen, this is my moment. Let me breathe. Can I please just breathe? I just went through something tragic. I'm still going through it right now. I had a breakdown before I went to the back room, and my coach just looked at me and said, get your shit together. And I had to get it together. She said, listen, anybody who's going through anything right now, you have to understand that you just put your head down and you keep going after it, because there's nothing else you can do. Right now, we're going through a pandemic. There's nothing else that we can do. I tell my wife all the time, like, hey, either we order groceries, I go out and get them, you go out. We have to continue to live our lives, living more safely and with more intelligence than ever before, more safety than ever before. But at the same time, we cannot stop. And so to see Jelena go out there, 50 plus fights, doesn't have to do it. She's 38. She's been a multi-world champion. What more are you going after? And she basically is like, man, I just wanted to do this one time for him. I've done it with him, and we've done it together, and we've done it for each other. But I wanted to do it this time for him. So there's a great story right there. Look up Jelena and just try to follow her. If not follow her, at least just take a look at her story and get some motivation and inspiration from it. I stood up when she said that last little tidbit, and I clapped for her, because, you know, again, I've never been through that situation, but when I can sympathize for you and with you and understand that I have everything that I need to be successful, there's no excuse. You damn sure didn't make no excuse getting in the ring tonight. I got no excuses moving forward. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, if there's that little bit of inspiration that you can get, go ahead and get it. You guys just check out that story.
And also, a real quick thing, if you don't watch women's boxing because it's women, just slap yourself, because like it's good boxing, it's good action.
What you think about it, Carson?
About women's boxing in general?
Female fighting, yeah.
It's great. A lot of it's honestly sometimes more action packed than men's boxing.
I kind of feel like it's always more action packed.
Yeah, I think it's 2020. It's almost 2021. Let's be past that, because that's just some clown stuff. But no, I think there's a lot of female boxers, and I think as they continue, the promoters and everything. I know Lou DiBella has mentioned he wants to get more women's fights on the cards, which is great. Yeah, the more exposure it gets, maybe the more people will be like, oh, okay, maybe I was wrong.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's the kind of the first thing that I said when they came to the ring is, you're going to see these young ladies do something that you wouldn't expect. They fight to the end of the fight, from beginning to end. I mean, every woman who goes out there to fight that I've seen, at least, they go out there, and it's almost like me. Like when I get in the ring, it's like I have no other recollection other than fighting with my heart. And you see those women, they fight with their heart, you know. So
no doubt.
That's definitely.
Yeah, and if you're saying you don't like it or this and that, you probably never really watched it, because it's action packed, like the guy says. It's true. Like usually from as soon as the bell hits, they're going at it. Like Shawn said, sometimes you want to step back and do this, but yeah, that's usually a brawl. Honestly,
we got some young ladies going into the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Layla Ali, of course. The lady from Texas, Ann Wolf.
Ann Wolf, yeah. Former trainer of James Kirkland.
Yeah, and James Kirkland's fighting next week.
Nice.
On Fox.
That comes full circle.
I get to commentate that, man. It's
nice.
And full circle.
Dang, you working again?
Yeah, but full circle for me, because when I was like on the brink of about to turn pro, I'm like looking at my division and who I'm gonna have to fight and all that kind of stuff. Remember, at that point in time, I was fighting at 154, or thought I was gonna be fighting at 154 pounds. I'm looking at all these guys, man. I saw James Kirkland, and I was like, I do not want to fight him ever. So he's coming back. Yeah, he's coming.
We're gonna get to Canelo, but people that were criticizing Canelo's resume, even some of his light fights or like the easier fights, I said in air quotes, is like James Kirkland. Yeah. Like, and that is by no means like a walk through casual fight. Like James
Carson,
Kirkland,
you can't question that man's resume.
No,
he has a solid resume.
No, 100%. He's been fighting top guys. You run through the list, it's crazy.
Hey, well then let's fast forward. Let's just do Triple G instead of doing the whole card. Let's do Triple G, and then we'll get to Canelo. What did y'all think about Triple G?
It would take a Mack truck to run into his chin and knock him out. You can hit him with anything. Go ahead, Carson.
He was good. He dropped. You talked about the jab. He dropped the guy with the jab, with a double jab, and put him down. Yeah. But Triple G, I think the power is still there. I think the speed is just a little slower. Mm-hmm. So he's still Triple G to an extent. Mm-hmm. Like he still can throw a lot of different shots, nice little combinations there, and then has that power. But maybe just a smidge slower than we typically are familiar with him being. But a good win.
Remember, I text you guys.
Honestly, out of Canelo and Triple G, do you ask me who I want to fight? Me personally, I would take Canelo. This man looked like he got bricks, and I feel like I couldn't do nothing with him. Like I hit him hard as I can, he just all right. He literally just shakes it off. I never seen nothing like it. It's probably the best chins I ever seen in the game.
Dang.
Canelo's up there too, but it's crazy, man. Those two, they got two great chins.
Hey, listen now, y'all remember I text y'all right before the fight happened. I said, yo, listen, I don't think I don't think Triple G is the same fighter he once was. And, I was kind of, I'm not gonna lie, when the fight started, I was not watching the fight to be entertained. I was watching the fight to see who are you now? What do you have left in the tank? I haven't seen you in a minute. Show me who you are. I think a
lot of people were.
Yeah, show me who you are. I think that was kind of the consensus as it pertained to him with the fight, which I wasn't aware of until the fight happened. I didn't know that people were like kind of on his case like that. I was on his case. I text y'all, and I saw more than I expected. Even his defense was much tighter, slicker than I've seen in the past. I think that was the number one thing lacking in his fight against Canelo, in both his fights against Canelo, was his defense. I saw a very good defense. Of course, we're looking at a Polish guy who's slower than anyone, and really wasn't throwing with the kind of intent that you would like to see someone throwing at Triple G. However, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you're in the ring with. What matters is that you look 100% or as close to 100% as possible. And I thought that he was upwards to that 95 percentile of his abilities and who he is now. I can say he's 95% at least of who he's been in the past.
Yeah, I like I said, I think just the speed was the only thing for me.
I agree. I think that his speed looks a little slower. But depends on who's pulling it out of you.
For sure.
You got somebody in the ring that can kind of command the best from you, then you always step it up. And I think that even in his two losses against Canelo, I think that he stepped it up. Yeah, a loss and a draw. I think he stepped it up, but I think in both fights it was like he was missing something in both fights. I actually had the first fight a draw, and I had him losing the second fight. So I think that there's some things that he can really, if you're looking at having a third fight with Canelo, you take a look at both of those fights and you just kind of pick out what was good and pick out what was bad and kind of come up with this recipe, and you might be successful in the third outing.
I don't have any interest in that.
I don't either. I'm sorry. I don't.
Me either, man. Me either.
Where did that? I know it's a kind of
because you got
media creation, but like I didn't. That kept being the thing to both fighters. They kept saying like, yeah, the trilogy, and I was like, I didn't see a lot of people on social media or in my head clamoring for a third fight. Yeah, like I don't know.
When you look at Canelo and how much money he wants to make, there really isn't too many other fighters out there that can command the kind of draw that he would need to make the kind of money that he wants to make. I think Triple G is the only other guy out there still that can do that.
You think so?
We always talk about who we want to see Canelo fight next. Who we want to see Triple G fight next? I don't want to see Canelo. Like, can we get him like Benavidez, Demetrius Andrade, somebody else, man.
Any of them. I mean, any of the top guys at 160 or 168. I think that Jamal Charlo and Triple G will be a fantastic.
That's a good fight.
That's a great fight. Stylistically, it makes sense.
That's a good fight, Sean.
I think Charlo wins.
I think Charlo. That's a fight that Charlo could win.
That's a 50-50 fight.
I think Charlo gets it, but that's a good one. Yeah,
that's a good one.
The fact that they kept asking that, like in both fights, or kept mentioning on the broadcast, I was like, I assure you, nobody at home's like, man, I can't wait for Canelo Triple G3.
Stop bringing this up.
Nobody cared.
Like, there's the only 2 left in the division. Like,
yeah, and they're not even in the same division right now.
I'm telling y'all what I know. You know, at the end of the day, when you can sell across the seas, then that's what you try to sell. Even though you're selling it here in America, you're trying to get the world to tune in. And right now, those guys are the 2 guys who would sell to the world. Triple G versus Canelo.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think it does.
You don't think it does? I don't think
that third fight does anything. Just because it's not going to not do anything, because Canelo's a huge draw no matter who Canelo's fighting.
Yeah.
But as far as like a boxing fan base, I didn't see anyone across the spectrum. Canelo people, Triple G people, casual boxing fans. I just didn't see anyone that like is dying to see that. I don't know.
Let me ask you, would y'all have liked to have seen Andre Ward fight Canelo?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Right now, I would have liked to see Andre Ward fight Triple G.
Yeah.
I'd like see Andre Ward fight. But I think both of those would have been interesting matchups in their day.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I definitely love what Carson said about the Charlo Triple G. That is a great match.
I made that match.
Great match.
Yeah, that was Sean.
Oh, my bad.
I made that match.
I'm glad that what Carson brought up, that Triple G Charlo match, that's a great match.
I do think Charlo gets him. I think he's quick enough where he would give him trouble. I think he's athletic enough that I think he can move around some of those shots, and obviously power is the Charlos have never lacked power, either of them, for the most part.
Hey, obviously don't depend on that to beat him. But
my big question,
of course not.
My big question when it comes to Charlo though is, do you have enough defense for someone like Triple G?
Yeah,
I think he gets it. He gained
enough boxing.
I'm going Charlo.
Let me just say this as we move on to that next fight.
I wouldn't have no problem with Charlo.
That dude's defense is unbelievable.
Yeah. Let's just get to it. Go ahead.
That was actually my number one takeaway from that fight yesterday. Was the 2 things: his accuracy and his defense. Because he was so smooth defensively with some of those shots, and then the accuracy was crazy. Was it like 40-something%? And then Smith was at like 18. Yeah. Like overall, that was a hell of a performance from Canelo.
Yeah.
Hey, it's like he went in there with Floyd, and that night, those 12 rounds. It's weird. He doesn't waste punches. It's just like he went in there and like, okay, and learned everything.
I would love to hear what he would have to say, because there's no doubt that since that fight, not only did he go up a level, quite a few levels since that fight, like literally after that fight, but you could tell that there were things in his repertoire that he added that it looks like just came from fighting Floyd and from learning Floyd and from being in the ring with Floyd. I would love to hear him say that. I would love to, or to find out if he would say that, contribute. Yeah. You know what I mean? I would love to find that out.
To be that strong and that talented offensively, to be that gifted defensively at this point in your career is he's been, and like we said, his resume, he's been in there with some dogs, he's been in there with some legends.
Yeah.
And to only come out of there with one loss, obviously, to arguably the greatest fighter of all time is crazy.
Yeah. Hey, Carson, is he the closest thing to a creative player?
Man, he might be.
In boxing right now?
he might be. That's
a good question.
Just because really, like, what else are you looking for?
Yeah.
Like what does Canelo lack that you're like, man, I really wish like maybe if he could switch stances like Bud.
Two things he don't need. He don't need to switch, and he don't need to move around the ring. But those are really the only two things you could even talk about possibly adding to what he already has. And he's just that performance yesterday, and then Callum Smith, and then again, we've talked about it before, but anytime there's a loss, the other guy is just horrible. Unless there's extenuating circumstances like Shawn loses the arrow and Shawn's stock maybe goes up. Everyone else, though, like Callum Smith loses the Canelo yesterday, and they're like, this Callum Smith guy was garbage. He didn't belong in the ring with him. I'm like, okay, he was undefeated. Like, just relax. What did y'all sell us before the fight?
You're talking about to the media?
No, the media. What did y'all sell us before the fight?
And then all of a sudden after the fight, he's garbage.
Texting me and calling me, man, what do you think about his height? I don't give a damn about his height. Do you see I'm like, yeah, that look kind of weird. It look kind of crazy.
It
like
funny.
I can't believe it, but it's
and
not.
all three of us in our group text, we was like, dang, the height looked crazy. We didn't say, this height about to win him the fight.
Mm-hmm.
We was just like, it looks crazy. We left it at that. We still knew what was going to happen.
Even when they're in the middle of the ring before they touch gloves, I'm talking to Tiki and I'm like, yo, they got the cameras up to kind of accentuate just how bad or make it look worse. I was like, it's just a camera effect because I said, watch, when the fight starts, it's going to be all Canelo from beginning to end.
And even last week when I mentioned that the media was acting as if Callum Smith had a chance to win, even our skepticism of that wasn't to say Callum Smith was a garbage. It was just that we thought Canelo is just a level higher, and he clearly was. Yeah. But Canelo, that you walk out of there impressed, man.
Pound for pound?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't even do pound for pound, but he's like, to me, is the number one guy in the world.
I think the stat they said was this is his 5th consecutive fight that wasn't at the same weight as the previous one.
Crazy.
Say what?
This was 5th consecutive fight that wasn't at the same weight.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's been kind of bouncing around a little bit.
Which is also crazy. We talk about people going up. He's dominated 54, 60, 68, 75. Yeah. Like he's wiped that. Yeah. Obviously not fighting the top guy at every single step, but fighting top guys there. I don't even know who, like we said, I don't really want to see him with Triple G. I don't know who I would like to see Plant. I'd like to see Benavidez, but man,
Demetrius Andrade. You're not feeling that?
Yeah,
I'm there for that.
Yeah.
But besides those three, who else? Charlo?
Yeah.
I can't see him coming back down to 160. That's my thing.
You said, does he come back down?
I can't really fathom him coming down to 160.
Yeah.
The problem
has to be for Charlo and Boo Boo.
Yeah.
No,
Boo Boo.
You wouldn't go off for 10 million?
No. I know those guys would, but I know those guys would, but I'm just saying, like, when you talk about contesting with a fighter in his prime, in his weight class, Charlo would be a 160-pound fighter. Even if we're talking, Errol's been talking about moving up to fight Canelo for a minute now. I can't see Canelo coming down to 54. Man. I can't see him meeting him at 54. And I could, even if he met him at 160, I just think it would be too hard for Canelo to get down there. I don't know.
Imagine if Canelo did go down to 154 again.
Yeah. I don't think he'll ever go down to 154.
That's crazy. He's a special talent. And the only criticisms of him are he has the failed test, which is what it is. It happened.
He had a chicken burrito, really?
Allegedly. But yeah, and also for that, if he had failed like 5 tests, I get it. But like when I say Antonio Gates, do you think steroids? Mm-mm. Antonio Gates was suspended for PEDs. Patrick Peterson was suspended for PEDs once.
Didn't know that.
It's just something like it happens. It's not good. Sean knows my stance on steroids, especially in baseball.
I love it in baseball.
I hate it.
When you said my name, I thought you was gonna say I failed the test. I'm like, hold on, don't.
No, hell no. But yeah, I think that's the only thing. Last night, you can't criticize the performance. Mm-hmm. You can't say anything about it. Yeah. And then that's the only thing that people try to, like, if you're trying to be anti-Canelo, somehow you need that lane. They're like, hey, steroids, I don't know. I'm like, okay, come on.
Shit, well then let's Let's just change it up.
Quick question.
Go ahead.
No, Sean, you ain't gonna answer this. Carson, top 3 pound for pound. I got Canelo, Terrence, Fury. I just need 3, Carson.
Canelo, Bud, Inoue.
Okay.
The monster.
We're not going to ask you, Mr. PB, whatever it is.
Yeah, I'll give you a quick 7.
Yeah, well, I'm good. I'm good, Mr. PC.
In no order.
Yeah, Mr. PC.
And I'm in that list, too.
No. Yeah, you got never put your ass in that
He's
list.
in the Dylon.
No, he not in the top 2.
Pound for pound. He's top 10 pound for pound.
Hey, you my guy. I might not even put you in the top 10. And you my guy.
All right, slow down.
Yeah, you ain't in the top 10.
I'm not above mutant.
Carson, he ain't in the top 10. Tell him.
No, but somehow I'm going to be the one that gets muted.
No, you know. We both saying it.
Yeah, no, I don't. Sean is a great fighter. He's a Hall of Fame fighter. He is not. He's a great guy, too. Great father, great husband, great friend.
Hey, Carson, they forget everything I said. It was like, Carson's a hater. Kick him off the podcast.
Unbelievable. I like that Sean last week said something about having no animosity. A week, he had the audacity to say that after he muted my mic the week before for voicing an opposition opinion.
No animosity.
Yeah, you were talking about what the Porterweight podcast is all about.
Oh, yeah. No animosity.
You don't want to bring BS and animosity. Yeah. And I was like, sir, you literally muted my mic a calendar week ago.
Because you was tripping.
I don't think I was tripping.
Hey, Sean, but you're a great fighter. Hell of a fighter. What Floyd say? Hell of a fighter.
Oh, every time you could be like, "Hey, Floyd, what do you think about Carson Merk?" Oh, he's a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. He always comes to fight.
Oh,
and
man.
I'm just like, hey, man. Floyd admitted though he doesn't. He said he doesn't watch a whole ton of boxing.
I believe him.
Yeah, I'm not. If I had that kind of money, I'm not sure what I would do with myself.
Listen,
what's next in boxing, man?
We're gonna have one more of these before the year's out, right?
Yeah, next week.
Cool.
What we got next?
No, he's saying one more podcast next week.
Yeah. We off the podcast?
No. Relax. Garcia Campbell coming up in a couple
to the
weeks.
mountains.
Yeah, it'll be Garcia Campbell the next week.
I
that's in January.
I thought you was gone now. I was like, I don't know how he's.
No. We leaving Thursday.
Culver's it is, huh?
Yeah, is it good? Tell me in the comments.
It's not.
What should I get from Culver's? Yeah. These guys be BSing. What should I get from Culver's? Tell me in the comments.
Cheese curds, man.
Also, I'm lactose intolerant. What should I get from Culver's? But he still
eat the cheese curds.
Yeah, I'll still take the L.
Nasty.
Cheese curds are solid. Culver's are solid.
Listen, man. Go ahead.
So the fight is actually January 2nd.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said a couple weeks. Yeah, a couple weeks. Okay. Listen, man, we gonna wrap it up for today. As always, I enjoy seeing you guys. Enjoy having some fun, talking some crap with y'all for a minute. Definitely talking about
let's wish everybody happy holidays.
Absolutely.
Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Is that
Festivus for the rest of us?
Yeah. Hey, Carson. Hey.
He don't know nothing about no Festivus.
No, yeah. Happy holidays to everyone. Hope everyone enjoys their holidays safely and responsibly, for sure.
We appreciate you guys. This week is the big week. You guys know what this week is? We hit NBA 1 million. We hit 1 million views on the clip channels.
Oh, that's what's happening.
We're going to. We're going to. Yeah. I believe in you guys.
Speak it into existence.
Okay.
All right.
Didn't work for the Browns last week, but it'll work for the views this week.
All right, y'all. This is the Porter Way. Y'all have a fantastic day. Don't tell me you didn't enjoy what you saw, because I know you did. What you need to do now, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, hit that notification button. Check us out every week, every Tuesday. Something new for you right here on the Porter Way Podcast.